In a previous video of mine, I looked at Roblox Piggy. In the video, I talked about the various reasons on why I believe Piggy's story was rushed. And that video did rather well, so if you haven't watched that video already, I recommend you go check it out. But some people in the comments recommend some fan games that I should check out, so I decided to check out 3 Piggy fan games and review them. Before we look at these games, I do want to point out that I'm only going to be talking about gameplay. I don't really care about the story, but if the story is important, then I'll mention it. But with that being said, let's just jump straight into these. The first game I'll be looking at is Piggy Branch Realities. This game was created by Wizard Watch Studios and was released on September 8th, 2021. At the time of this video being made, the game has 10.4 million visits. Piggy Branch Realities is not your typical chapter-based story. The game gives little what-if scenarios about the Piggy universe. The 3 main maps have 3 different sections. The first map, House, asks the simple question, what if Penny Pig didn't get infected? In the original game, Penny was one of the first people to get infected, but in this map, we take control as Penny and play an updated version of the house map. The gameplay for this map is actually pretty fun. The map is definitely for players who have played the OG Piggy and want a challenge. Piggy suffered from an identity crisis near the end of its lifespan. Piggy's gameplay was becoming more and more odd as the game progressed, but this game shows how good Piggy can get. The story is definitely the thing that people like best about this game. Although the scenario is rather simple, I believe it's an interesting premise. But is it executed well? I think the first map is executed very well. The map ends with Penny and Georgie going to the hospital to find Mr. P. Mr. P rizzes Georgie into drinking the Goofy sauce, so Georgie becomes infected, and Penny gets all sad and becomes a nomad on 2B2T. The next map is a forest remaster. The scenario for this map is, what if Doggy didn't drink the zesty sauce? This map freaking sucks. I don't care what you guys say, this map is doo-doo. The map is way too big and the goal of this map is not clear at all. The gimmick for this map is that everything is so spread out and stinky. The map has 4 sections, the cabin, the river, the gate, and the church. You have to do so much backtracking on this map and it's just not fun at all. And I haven't even mentioned the ending. After you complete the map, Doggy straight up bodies Willow. Like, why? It seems so out of character. This map is 1 out of 3 Gordon Ramsays. Do better. Moving on from that dumpster fire, we have the Metro remaster. In this map, the scenario is what if Bunny never became infected? I'm noticing a pattern with all these scenarios. Anyways, the map looks almost nothing like the original Metro. The other 2 maps look somewhat resemble their old counterparts, but this map is definitely trying to be its own thing. In the original Metro, the halls were tight and the map was rather small, but this Metro has large open areas and places you can enter to escape the Piggy. But at the end of the map, there will be a chase sequence. The chase sequence requires you to make quick movements and find the items fast. When you complete the chase sequence, you'll complete the map. The cutscene begins with these ugly models that just look not very good. So thankfully, Bunny shoots a flare gun that was on the train for some reason. When the player and Bunny escape the Metro, you find Mr. P chilling at the carnival. You all decide to squad up and work together to find a cure. That's where the map ends, and thus concludes Branch Realities. This Piggy fan game was actually pretty good. The only thing I don't like is the forest map. Everything else is pretty good, and well made. But with that, let's move on to the next game. The next game we'll be checking out is Piggy the VHS Archives. This game was made around the time analog horror was big on YouTube, so let's see if this game can also surpass the original Piggy in terms of gameplay. The first map is Refinery Revenge. The opening cutscene is a little glitchy, but I'm not going to take away points because of it. Ignoring that, you play as Pandy as you, Tigry, and Willow investigate a spooky version of the refinery. Speaking of the refinery, how does it look? The map is mostly the same with a few differences. Some of the railings are destroyed and some areas are a little different. My boy Felix just taking a nice nap on the table, 10 out of 10 sleep. But now it's time to be negative. The models with the smiles look a little goofy. I think the models look okay from afar, but when they're close to you, they just look silly. Aside from the silly models, I'd like to mention there's a few strange invisible walls. These invisible walls resulted in one of my deaths, but this is the only map with these odd invisible walls, so I guess I can give it a pass on that. All in all, I think this map's pretty good. I believe there are some obvious flaws though. The next map on the list is Sewers. The map opens with the player being able to choose the model of the bot. I actually really enjoy this idea. Anyways, what's the map like? The map is also exactly like the original map it's based off of, but is the gameplay good? I think it's much better than the refinery map. The invisible walls are still present in some areas, but they don't affect the gameplay as much. A problem I do have with this map is the fact that the bot is almost never a threat, ever. He kinda just waddles around and doesn't get in your way. The creator did add a second bot that uses the player's Roblox avatar, but I think mine got stuck in the ground. But let's talk about the escape door. A lot of Roblox Piggy fan games add this stupid twist at the end of a map, kinda like the chase scenes in the game before. So not only do you have to beat the map, you also have some stupid chase sequence after. In this map, some random monster just kills you. Apparently you need a lighter to kill it, but I don't care enough to play this map again. It just left me with a bad taste in my mouth. But with that being said, let's move on to the last map of this game. The last map of this game is a Spooky Ship remake. Once again, the map is almost identical to the OG ship. This map has its fair share of strange gimmicks. I believe the main gimmick of this map is the way you beat it. You don't escape through a door, you have to instead collect food and other supplies. And I was so close to being able to actually beat this map, but a glitch happened where a wooden plank didn't completely disappear. So I kinda just had to kill myself. But does this map have any redeeming qualities? I believe it does. I do actually enjoy the inclusion of the lockpick. You have to find 2 items to open 1 door, and I believe that adds a certain level of challenge to the map. But after playing the entire game, it's kinda sad to see its fate. The game was actually cancelled, so none of the issues I had will ever be fixed or removed. But do I believe this game is better than Piggy? I'm gonna say no on this one. I'm not the biggest fan of some of the things that are in this game, but I do recommend this game to anyone that hasn't played it. But with that, let's move on to the final game. The final game I'll be talking about is Piggy: The Result of Isolation. The game was created by Jokemaster77 and was released on October 24th, 2021. The game's basic premise is about Georgie visiting all the Book 1 maps and trying to escape even spookier monsters. And like a lot of fan games, this game was cancelled. That was due to Jokemaster getting banned from Roblox. But enough about that, let's talk about the game. The game has 7 maps, 8 if we include the Abandoned City bonus map. So for the sake of time, I'm only going to talk about 3 maps. The maps being Station, Hospital, and Metro. Starting with Station, the map opens with Georgie running towards the police station looking for help, but hears a noise and gets locked in, so now Georgie needs to escape. And before I get into gameplay, I just want to talk about how smooth everything feels. Not as good as Branch Realities, but still very good. Anyways, the map progression in this game feels very different from the normal Piggy. Every map has more story going on and it feels like every location matters. But does the gameplay live up to everything else? Meh. I feel like it's just kinda like Piggy but better paced. Although I do have a major complaint. In this game, you are going to die a lot, so maybe having a restart button will help, but I'm willing to put that aside for the homey little bear thing. Oh wait, shit, no. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, anyways, Station is a pretty good map, but let's move on to Hospital. Hospital opens up with Georgie needing some bandages, so he and Pony split up to find some. So Georgie enters the hospital with some sleepy-ass patients and begins his search for the bandages. The bot on this map wanders around. This is because he's deaf and sucks at seeing shit, but whenever you open a door, he spawns near you and begins chasing you. The only way to stop him is by distracting him with some dumb-looking toy, so you kinda just have to rinse and repeat this for like 6 minutes. This map is actually pretty fun and different from other Piggy games I've played. So far, the 2 maps I've played have been pretty good. Let's see if the Metro map can live up to the other 2. Metro was the final map before Jokemaster got banned. The map opens with Georgie tripping absolute balls. Homie took way too much zesty sauce on the way here, but when he snaps out of it, you can see what the actual Metro looks like. It's all gross and dark, and I really love the atmosphere. When you get about halfway through the map, you can actually enter extended areas of the map too. There's a part in the map where you get to visit the store map from Piggy Book too. The map actually has quite a few fun gimmicks. At one point in the map, you'll actually use a security camera and lure a monster towards a certain camera. But when you actually beat the map and enter the actual Metro train, a chase sequence begins. I didn't know about this and he died immediately, but I guess it doesn't matter. Anyways, moving on. This game's actually pretty enjoyable, and that's coming from a person who made a 16-minute video trashing on Piggy's story. So if you haven't already, play this game. But with that, let's move on. After playing all these fan games, I actually found myself enjoying them quite a bit. Once again, if you haven't played any fan games featured in this video, go play them. But with all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.